Hello everyone, here I am with another Facebook Live. Today I'm going to talk about what to do with frustration, anger, and resentment. This Facebook Live was inspired by one of you guys that wrote me the other day and said, Paola, I love everything that you say and I like the philosophy behind it, but the feelings or the emotions of frustration, anger, and resentment, sometimes they take over. They take over my consciousness, and I just feel like I want to kill someone. It was a little exaggerated, but basically that's what she said. It takes over me. It's almost like a force that clouds my head and my thinking and my wisdom. So I told her that I would talk about this. So yesterday I did my Facebook Live in Spanish, and here I am doing it in English because I know you guys will get some value from it as much as I've gotten value from these teachings. So a lot of these things I just want to say are not new for you, and this is just us remembering. I was just telling a friend I'm going to do this Facebook Live because I want to remember as well. So let's remember together. The first thing I want to say, frustration, anger, and resentment are emotions that travel very low and dense. In the relativity of time of the theory of relativity of time from Albert Einstein, the way I explain it, I don't know where I heard it, but I heard this explanation and now I explain it that way. Is imagine yourself putting your finger into a hot stove for a minute. It will probably be the most excruciating long minute of your life. But think about when you're in love and you are kissing someone for a minute. That is probably a really fast minute, right? It's one of the fastest minutes of your life because you are in love, because you're in bliss, because you're feeling good. So it's relative. It's relative to the emotion, to the feeling. Well, in that case, I'm talking about the feeling of pain, the physical pain, and the feeling of love. But when it comes to certain emotions like anger and frustration and resentment, those emotions travel really, really slow. And they take a lot of energy out of us. How sometimes we say that people takes energy, that person or those kind of people take energy out of me? Well, I will re-review that because no one has power over you unless you give it to them. And what could be taking a lot of energy out of you is that you are entertaining those emotions in your consciousness, and they're taking a lot from you. So, first thing to understand with these emotions is that yes, we have to deal with them because otherwise they're going to be draining your energy every day. You think it's nothing, it's happening, but yes, it's very, very dangerous to be entertaining those emotions for too long in your consciousness. So now I'm not saying that you should bypass them. I'm not saying that you should apply positive thinking on top of it right away when you feel them, because otherwise is you preventing yourself from feeling what you need to feel, or it's you numbing yourself with other things. Like I talked before, sometimes we don't want to feel the way we feel, and so what we do is we numb ourselves either by drinking, by gossiping. We do this by engaging in drama, by helping or others too much, not in a good way, but just engaging in everyone's life. So do you distract yourself from your own life, etc.? So you're working too much, shopping too much, being on Facebook too much, unless you're watching a good video like this one. Facebook is a way of not feeling. Eating too much, you name it. We have very crafty ways of numbing ourselves. So it's not that when you're feeling anger, frustration, and resentment that you will be like, no, I don't want to feel this, I don't want to feel this. What those emotions want us to do is go in the direction of them, look at them in the eye and ask them, what do you have for me? Because in life there's two journeys, or there's two routes. You take the route or the path of the victim, or you take the path of the student. So most of the time this anger, this resentment, this frustration come because we have given the power away. We have given the power to other people, to our circumstances, to the government, to the external situations. And when those situations are not the way that you want them to be, you get resentful. You feel that anger, you feel that frustration. So the first thing is to know that this is a beautiful moment for us to learn. To learn, what is this thing what are these emotions trying to teach me? And how do I find the answer? Well, you first find quiet time to feel. There is a thing that I mentioned in class. There is an analogy, and it's not an analogy, it's a fact. The scientists have noticed how buffaloes behave when there is a storm coming. And when they see a pack of buffaloes and they see a storm coming, what they have seen is that buffaloes, instead of running away from the storm, they go in the direction of the storm. So when you're feeling these emotions, go in the direction of the emotion. Ask them, what do you have to teach me? Or know that this person in your life, that the fire that triggered those emotions of anger, resentment, and frustration is there in your life for a reason. Is there in your life for a reason. For you, not against you. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to keep these people around you. Sometimes it's necessary to set healthy boundaries. I've talked about this before. But what I'm trying to say here is that if you look at this as a lesson instead of this is happening to you, there's a lot more growth that can happen, that can take place in your consciousness. So, after knowing this, after deciding, because we get tired and sick of feeling tired and sick. When you are tired and sick of being tired and sick, it's time to be the student. Enough of being the victim, enough of playing of this is happening to me. And we become the student. And the first thing for the student is to have compassion and self-forgiveness. Have compassion for yourself because you have felt these feelings, because you have felt the anger, because you have felt the resentment. It is very human, very, very human to feel the way you feel. Doesn't make you a bad person, doesn't make you a broken person, it just makes you a human. The thing is that with our human condition is that we were also given consciousness, we were given the capacity to connect to wisdom, the capacity to connect to our highest self. So remember in the other videos that I have explained, of you who have come to class to me, that I have talked about the monkey brain and the reptilian brain. The monkey and the reptilian brain are all about reacting to life, fighting, flying away, avoiding, or freezing. But when we're connecting to our consciousness, to our third eye, to our intuition, whatever you want to call it, then we have access to wisdom, we have access to growth. So when this is happening in your life and you're choosing to be the student, now it's time to connect to wisdom. And the first way that you connect to wisdom is by having compassion to yourself. Because when you're not being compassionate to yourself, when you're guilting and shaming yourself for feeling the way you feel, then you go back to the monkey brain, you go back to the reptilian brain. First, forgive yourself for feeling the way you feel. It's very human. So now, are you ready to learn the lesson? Are you ready to be the student? So, the other point I wanted to talk about is that we need to learn how to forgive the other person. So, sometimes it's hard and you say, Paola, I don't know how to forgive this person or how to forgive the situation that didn't go the way I wanted it to go. It doesn't matter if you don't know how. The how is none of your business. You have to be willing. That's the only thing. So are you willing to learn how to forgive? Are you have that little bit of openness in your heart to say, I don't know how to forgive the situation, but I'm willing. And I've had situations where I've been having a hard time forgiving and I'm just resenting and feeling the anger and the frustration. And I have to surrender and say, you know, God, you know, universe, you know, higher self, I don't know what else to do. I give up. I've done the seminar, I read the book, I did the meditation, I don't know what else to do. But I'm still open, I'm still available. And beautiful things have come to my life. Teachers come to my life, new books, different things that is almost like the universe saying, are you ready? Okay, here's another piece that you didn't know before. So this is something I found the other day where I was going through Facebook, and I think it's very relevant to what we're talking about. This is basically talking about addiction, or mainly talking about addiction, but you change it for whatever it is that you're judging of the situation. All right, so you ready? You see heroin, I see low self-esteem. You see cocaine, I see fear. You see alcohol, I see social anxiety. You see track marks, I see depression. You see a junkie, I see someone's son. You see a prostitute, I see someone's daughter caught in addiction. You see self-centeredness, I see the disease. You see a pillhead, I see overprescribing of opiates. You see someone unwilling to change, I see someone hasn't connected with them yet. You see denial, I see someone hurting. You see someone nudging out, I see God showing us they need help. You see the end, I see the beginning. You see a dope friend, I see a future success story. You see them, I see me. I'm going to put this poem in the comments later. What I'm trying to say here, if this person or these people hurt you and you're still resenting them and you're still feeling the anger and the frustration, and it could be as deep and serious as addiction, or it could be someone just being vicious with their word. It could be someone that deceived you. It could be someone that lied to you. It could be some situation that didn't have integrity. It could be all the range of situations that could bring those emotions. But the thing is to know that if that person did or said that, it's because they're probably in fear. They're probably in their monkey brain. This was said by Deepak Chopra. If it helps you to forgive, remember that we are all doing the best we can out of our highest level of consciousness. I'm going to repeat it one more time. If it helps you to forgive, just remember that we're all doing the best we can out of our level of consciousness. So when you see someone behaving in a certain way, that person is not doing that for you or to you. Is doing it because that's their way they protect their insecurities, their fear, their darkest demons, their shame, their guilt. So we have coping mechanisms. So if it helps you to forgive, just remember that you can see deeper than what your physical eyes are showing you. Yes, you may see someone being vicious or being... the other day I was talking to a friend, and there was someone else that was adding venom to a situation, and it was not necessary. And I got a little trigger. I was like, it's not necessary to say all of these things. The situation is not a big deal. And then I had to catch myself, and I said, well, if this person is doing this, they're getting something out of it. They're either protecting themselves, they're either trying to look for approval, they either get something from blaming and shaming others. So bring compassion. Just bring compassion to this person, because obviously if someone is doing that, they are dealing with their own demons. They're dealing with their own things. So when compassion came into the situation, I was able to forgive this person and carry on. I don't forgive them because they deserve them. I forgive them because I deserve to be free. And at the end of the day, I mean, that statement that I just made sounds a little bit contradictory or contradicting. But it brings me to this other quote I saw the other day in Facebook, that it was a student with his master, and the student asked his master, "Master, how should I treat others?" And the master responded, "There's no others. There's no others." So this is the deal. When you're forgiving yourself, you're forgiving them. When you're forgiving them, you're forgiving yourself. We're all one thing here. We're all one body of God. We're one energy. So some people say, I'm not being able to forgive them. So just start with yourself. Just start with you. Look within. And the more you heal those parts of yourself, the more you're going to allow the world to heal as well. Remember that resentment is like drinking poison and waiting for the other person to die. Someone said that. I can't remember who said that. So you're drinking the poison every day. That's why you're not creating. That's why you're not feeling the goodness of this life. That's why you're seeing hostility instead of seeing friendliness, because these emotions drag a lot of energy out of us. And when you don't have enough energy, the energy that is left, it's only for survival. If you want to start creating the life that you love, if you want to start creating that new project, if you want to have more thriving relationships, start with forgiveness. You don't have to know how to forgive, just be willing to learn. How about that? And know that those emotions are not there to bypass, are there to be looked at. Be looked at in the eye and ask them, what do you have to teach me? Another thing that Reverend Michael, the teacher that I teach his teachings here on Arrhythmia, he asked us, when you're going through something hard, or through the dark night of the soul, or through a very hard relationship, ask yourself, what is trying to emerge? What is trying to emerge right now through me? What is the one quality that I want to give birth, or that my soul wants to give birth, so that I can have peace instead of this, instead of fear? All right, Michael says, oh, the how is none of your business. Willingness is the part that masters. That's powerful. Gracias por Castro. You're very welcome, Mike. It's so cool that resonated with you. Yeah, the how is none of our business. When we are willing, the universe shows the way, and doors when they were closed, they're open. You meet people, you have conversations with friends that you weren't expecting. Just be willing, and whenever anger comes again, look at anger in the eye, ask them, what you got for me, and then let it go. All right, this is a beautiful day here in Costa Rica. I hope you guys enjoy this. I hope you have a beautiful Saturday. If there's any questions, if there's any suggestion of a topic to talk about, I talk about these things all day, so I don't know sometimes why I've talked about, why people, are wanting, because I'm constantly giving content. So if you have anything that you would like me to talk about on this Facebook Live, please write me. Let me see. John Paul says, you had your first class today. Hi, John Paul. 16 years I've learned more about life than in 20 years. Awesome, John Paul. It was great to have you in class today. You're awesome. So good. We did a meditation. We also talk about forgiveness in class today. And he said at the end, I feel lighter. That's a miracle. When you just feel a little lighter. Oh man, there's so many things that come flushing. Also many blessings flushing through your life. Coming to your life, because you have let go of a little bit of heaviness. Forgiveness is how you set yourself free. Yes, Ariel Josue Campos, that's exactly. You want to be free, forgive. I have 12-week coaching programs with clients, and in the 12 weeks we work around the word the topics of beliefs. What are you believing? We talk about relationships, we talk about ego, we talk about all these beautiful things. And sometimes people come to me and they say, Paula, you know what? I feel better. I feel that I'm more empowered in my life, but there's still something missing. So when they tell me this and they have done the work, I ask one more time, who are you not forgiving? Sometimes it could be that you're too hard on yourself. It could be that you're too damn hard on yourself and you're constantly shaming and blaming yourself. So maybe you still have to forgive yourself. If you really want to be free, the journey of forgiveness is miraculous. Is there anybody else who wants to say something? Any questions? Anything? I know there are a lot of people are not online right now that will watch this video later. Please ask your questions in the comments, or put your comments in the comment part. Share this video with people that may resonate with this, or they may be needing this message. Share it on your wall. Maybe someone of your friends later will watch this, and share this in conversation. I know not everyone is ready for this kind of conversation, but if you are with people that are hungry for this kind of things, share this. It's by teaching that we learn the most. All right? Awesome. This is it for today. Give your thumbs up to this video, and I love you. I love you all. Thank you so much for all your support. It's so fun to do this in English and Spanish. I feel really cool. All right, guys. I love you. Bye.